There was a period back in the 1990s where a lot of popular franchises had a spin-off that reimagined the characters as young children. The Flintstones kids, a pup named Scooby-Doo, Yo-Yogi. Sega seemed to really like this idea, which is why we see sexy Sarah practicing her kata only to be interrupted by Toon Sarah. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Virtua Fighter Kids. Do you really expect me to believe that Shun is a kid? He's so old that Sun Tzu personally signed his copy of The Art of War. And if Lau is a kid, how can he have a daughter as old as Pi? Unless he's like Kearney from The Simpsons.
And I say that as a teenager and the parent of a teenager.
Title aside, they're still adults, just portrayed in super deformed style. Oh, wait, are we still allowed to use the word deformed, or is that suddenly offensive now? If it is, then what's going to happen to the SD Gundam series? I've never actually played Virtua Fighter Kids until very recently, but I was always curious about it, having seen screenshots of it in the official Sega Saturn magazines, so I'm interested in seeing if it's half the size twice for fun, or if AM2 were just kidding themselves. At first glance, you'd think it would be similar to Capcom's Super Gem Fighter, which also portrayed the characters in an SD style, but while Gem Fighter at least tweaked the gameplay so that it stands apart from Street Fighter and Darkstalkers, Virtua Fighter Kids is basically a one-to-one copy of Virtua Fighter 2, just with bobblehead character models. Although, since the original Virtua Fighter only used 3 buttons, this game lets you map special moves to the other buttons. This does make it easier to an extent, though the computer opponents still learn your fight patterns quickly enough to stop you from spamming them. The graphics are excellent for a 3D game on the Sega Saturn. It runs at a smooth frame rate, and I love how expressive the characters are. Except Lau. He's got a stone face like Buster Keaton. The stages have been altered to look more cartoonish. Akira's usual hangout is now a funfair. Some characters even have a special stage where they fight themselves, like Pi beating herself up in her dressing room. Shun now owns a factory producing robot copies of himself. Shun Factory, a boozy harvest moon. All the win quotes are also the same as Virtua Fighter 2, just chipmunkified, for lack of a better term.
I win! Come back again in about a year. Better run home to Mama now.
Okay, I'll run home to your mum! So, apart from the more expressive character models, what else does it bring to the table? Individual character endings. We tend to take them for granted in other fighters, but would you believe Virtua Fighter Kids is the first, and to this day, only Virtua Fighter game to actually give each character their own ending sequence? If you beat the game on normal difficulty or higher, you're treated to a comedic skit of your character with some crowd-pleasing cameos from AM2's other games, like the Virtua cops playing extras in the film that Pi is shooting, or the Hornet from Daytona USA being Jackie's race car. Sarah's ending shows that Doral placed a bet on this race. Break his neck! I don't want him to win! Oni-chan! Ah, come beloved sister! Embrace me! What in the name of Lucifer's beard? If that's what you wanted, I'll just start killing you like this! And if you get hit by lightning, it's your own fault! I highly doubt your car insurance will cover this. Shun's ending has him taking a nap. A nice, deep, 4 seasons long nap. What is in that gourd he carries with him? Apparently Java tea. As it turns out, the game had a promotion with the Japanese company Sinvino. There was even a special demo version where Shun and Jackie hawk their Java tea drink. But the individual character endings are the only advantage this game has over the real Virtua Fighter 2. The fighting itself lacks polish. The character's shorter limbs can throw off your aim, especially if you're used to the other Virtua Fighters. This makes it a lot harder to hit your opponents, especially the big bastards like Wolf and Jeffrey. Because those two louts hunch forward, their hitboxes are tucked further away, like desperate men pulling in their stomachs when they see an attractive woman. It took me nearly an hour to get past Wolf, with single round matches when I was playing as Lion. Call yourself King of the Jungle? You look more like the baddie from George of the Jungle!
Me?
For comparison's sake, do you know how long it took me to finish the game with Jeffrey? 10 minutes. That's a testament to how overpowered the bigger characters are in this game. And if that wasn't enough, there's this dodging mechanic, where your opponent randomly starts spazzing out and jerking their head back and forth, so your punches only just miss. It's as if the game's taking the piss out of you. There's a difference between challenge and outright cheating. The AI is ridiculously cheap in later stages. They predict every move, their attacks always get priority, and they always get to block everything with impunity, which honestly makes the game more frustrating than fun. In fact, I was even given a bollocking by the police for all the profanities and death threats I was screaming at the television. No, it is not because I'm crap at technical fighters! What a ridiculous accusation! The game cheats and that's all there is to it! You see, the thing is, I'm one of those people who plays games to have this little thing called fun, not because I want to get pissed off. But it begs the question as to who this game was even made for in the first place. The cute character models and the title screen being made in the car would imply that it's aimed at a younger audience. Oh, and the fact that the game literally has the word kids in the title. But even with the shortcuts for special moves, the difficulty is anything but child's play. It's too unbalanced and technical for younger, less dexterous players, and serious fighting enthusiasts already have the original Virtua Fighter 2. Then again, that's probably why they give you the option to make yourself invincible in the options menu. But if you do that, you don't get to see your character's ending. You also have Doralis, an unlockable playable character. But how are kids supposed to figure out the code to unlock her? It would have made more sense to have her unlockable as a reward for finishing the game with all the other characters. It's not as if she was a last-minute addition either. She has a full-on ending sequence, where she buys a bunch of balloons and goes for a ride, making friends with a visiting alien. So long, and thanks for the fish! What fish, you ask? The one swimming around Doral's head, of course! I had a really hard time deciding on a score to give this title. You see, for all my grumbling about the unfair difficulty, it's honestly not that bad of a game. It's still Virtua Fighter 2 at its core. I appreciated the individual character endings, and I found the cartoons look rather charming in a cheesy 90s anime sort of way. The gameplay just needed a few more tweaks to get the balance right. So I don't usually do decimal points, but I've decided to settle on a 6.5 out of 10. It's not an essential run out and buy game, especially since you can get the real Virtua Fighter 2 for like a fraction of the price, but it might be worth a look if you can find a way to play it on the cheap. Well, that's enough fun and games for the time being. Now it's back to more grown-up concerns. Akira needs help fixing the hole in his wall. I guess pain does exist in this dojo.